everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a extremely highly requested one, and it is all about the Anastasia Beverly Hills products. So I have had a stack of questions from you guys about these products, about where can I buy them in Australia, what are they like, what should I use, lots of questions about the pomades compared to the powders, the pencils, just absolutely everything. So I thought I would answer all of those questions in one big video for you and show you products that Anastasia has got available, and also different ways that you can use them to suit your preference and what you're comfortable with having your brows like. So without jumbling on for ages, I'm going to just jump right into some of the products. And first up, I want to talk about the Anastasia Pro Pencils. So these are a pencil that can be used for a multitude of different purposes, and they do come in two colors. So they come in base number 1 and base number 2. I guess you could say that these are kind of similar to the NYX Wonder Pencils in the fact that, they've got so many different ways that you can use them. So the difference between the colours is base number 1 is quite a bit lighter and base number 2 is more of an apricot-y yellow sort of undertone. So these can be used on the brow bone and on the cheekbones as a highlighter, and you can also just pretty much go straight in with them on the lid and use them as an eyeshadow base as well. They're really good. I've used them once before for that, and it did not crease at all through the night, so it's really good for that. But what I really love using them for is around the brows, so you can sort of carry them around the edge of your brows much like you would a concealer to really neaten up and tidy up the edge of your brows after you've finished filling them in. And you can also draw, if you've got any stray hairs, poking through, if you're between waxes or whatever, you can actually draw over the hairs with this, and it does an amazing job at concealing the hairs. They're very smooth and creamy and very easy to use, and yeah, it's just a really great pencil that's provided by the brand, and it's not very often talked about here on YouTube as well, despite being so versatile. So that is that one. Moving on to another pencil, I want to talk about the Brow Wizzes. Now these are very well known about here on YouTube, and basically they are a double-ended pencil. So at one end of it there is a really nice small precise little spoolie, and then at the other end is a retractable brow pencil. So they come in a bunch of different shades, and they've got shades that are going to suit anybody from, someone with the lightest blonde hair all the way down to you beautiful girls with that naturally black dark hair and quite dark skin. So they do have shades for everybody. I will swatch the ones that I have here for you. So this one is soft brown. So this one's going to be more appropriate for those of you with natural brunette hair. So more of that brown with more of like a grey undertone to it, and also, mid to dark browns. And this one here is brunette, which is the one that I use myself on my brows, and it's a little bit darker than that soft brown. There is the two of them there. So that's soft brown on this side and dark brown on that side. So you can see the color difference between two of them. Now obviously I don't have all of the shades. I've only got the shades that I can use on myself. But I do know that they do even cater for redheads and pretty much everything. Now the thing that I like about these pencils is that the tip of the lead in the pencil is so small and precise. And if you use, very soft stroking motions, you can really, create like a really natural looking brow. And then if you go a little bit more heavy-handed, you can also build it up to a very bold and dramatic brow. With a little spoolie, I like to brush through the brows first with the spoolie, and then after I've finished filling them in, I then go back in and sort of brush all the hairs into place, and it also helps to distribute that product a little bit more naturally, so that you can't, if you've made a bit of a boo-boo, then you can just sort of brush through them and, make them look really nice again. We're going to move into the powder section of the brown products that she has now. And first up, I want to talk about the Brow Fix Primer. So this is essentially a brow wax in a pencil format. If I can get it out of the box. Oh, here we go. So it's just this tiny little pencil. And then as you can see, it is a, a thick sort of more pencil, and it's a brow wax in there. Now the brow wax is very smooth, it doesn't clump the brows and it doesn't really stick them together. But the idea of this is that you go through your brows and sort of, move them into place, kind of like combing them essentially. You move them into place, and then you go in with the powder. And then what that does is it turns, it sort of transforms your powder into more of a waterproof texture. And it also does a great job of keeping your brow hairs in place all day long. This has been a lifesaver. A couple of days ago, I must have slept funny on my eyebrow and I needed to go to work and I didn't have time to have a shower. Like I was crazy late this day. And so I just grabbed this and like, I don't know about you, but when I sleep funny on my eyebrows, they go a little haywire and they start to like stick up and like, was not cool. But I just grabbed this and sort of combed it through the brow and it stuck them down and they just looked perfectly groomed and like it really didn't take any effort. So really another really good versatile product. And yeah, like I said, it does make your powders when you go in with them, which I will talk about next, but it does make your powders a lot easier to work with, and it makes them, you know, more waterproof and longer lasting than they would be if you just applied them to the skin. So I'm going to talk about the powders now. They come in these gorgeous little duos and I absolutely love the packaging. So it's just like a little shiny black canister with a kind of rosy gold type colour Anastasia symbol in the center. So I've got two of the brow powders. I have got soft brown and dark brown. So I'll just show you what they look like here. Now obviously these come in a range of shades as well. For those of you that, you know, if you're blonde, if you've got red hair, really dark hair, they do cater for everybody. So this one is the soft brown. So this one's more of a taupe and you could actually quite easily use this on somebody with blonde hair as well. And the powders are very finely milled, but they're also quite pigmented. So really you only need a tiny little bit of product to, you know, fill out your whole brow. But at the same time as being very pigmented, they're not chalky and, you know, they're quite easy to blend as well. So they're pretty much idiot proof. And for those of you that are new to brows or new to makeup, I think that you'll find these, you know, really easy to work with. So yeah, that one is soft brown and then this one here is dark brown. So obviously, because it's a duo, you've got your lighter and your darker shade. I tend to always use dark brown in my brows, and what I do is I go in with that lighter shade just through the head of the brow and then the darker through the tail of the brow. And it just gives you more of a natural, like, kind of graduated brow, and it just, I don't know. I do like dramatic brows, but I also like them to look more natural. Nobody likes a scouse brow, so yeah, I tend to avoid that. I love these. They're quick and easy to use on an everyday basis. They're small and compact, so they're very easy to travel with. And I also love them for my freelance kit as well, just because, I don't know, like I said, very easy to work with and blend out. And all of the shades, you know, they're just universal shades pretty much that anybody can get away with. So next up, I want to talk about the Dip Brow Pomades. Now these have been raging on social media and on YouTube lately. And to be honest, I can totally understand why. So I would describe these to be, I don't know, essentially like a gel eyeliner, but for your brows. So they're a creamy sort of consistency, but then they dry to a more of a powder looking finish, and they are also 100% waterproof. So if you want to go swimming with your brows on, by all means go ahead, or go to the beach or whatever you want to do. You definitely can with this product. So I've got a couple of different shades. This one here is a dark brown. This is the one that I use through my brows. It's more of a cool tone taupey brown, and it's suitable for anybody from, you know, black hair all the way down to sort of like a mid-tone brown with more of a grey undertone through it. As you can see, I've had this for quite a few weeks now actually, and I've used it every day, and I've also used it on clients, and I don't know if you can really see there, but I have barely even touched it. Like the tiniest little bit of this product goes, it just goes all the way. Like I need to dip my brush in there once, a tiny little bit, and then I can do a full brow with that and just move the product around. Very long lasting and very easy to work with. And then I've also got this one here in chocolate, which I actually haven't used at this stage. So this one's more of a warmer toned brown. For those of you with auburn hair or, you know, red hair that's more on the dark side, you could certainly get away with this one as well. Now, like I said earlier, these are very creamy, and it's just so easy to really distribute the product through your brow. And like I said before, they do dry to a really nice powdery finish, and you can pretty much go anywhere from a natural brow to a full-on, you know, intense brow with these. You can achieve anything. So I also think that these are pretty well idiot proof too. Just be sure to only use the teeniest tiny little bit on your brush and you will not go wrong. Seeing as we did just talk about the powders and the pomades, I quickly wanted to mention the brushes that Anastasia has available. So this one here is the number 7 brush. So this one's much smaller, but the actual bristles on the brush are very accurate. They're very slim. They're perfectly cut to an angle and they are quite stiff as well. So it just makes it very, very easy to get the perfect neat brow when you're working with the powders or the pomades with either of these brushes. And then on the other end, it's got a spoolie as well. So this little one's great for traveling, obviously because it's so small, you can just tuck it in the side of your makeup bag. And then in comparison, this is the number 12 brush, which is the full-size brush. This also has a spoolie on the end, but in comparison, this spoolie is much larger. Now the handle of the brush is also longer, but the bristles are actually quite different as well. So looking from a bird's eye view of these brushes, the bristles on number 7 are much thinner in diameter. And then the number 12, there's more of them sort of next to each other, so it's a little bit thicker. And the bristles are actually more of a duo fiber. It looks like there's 2 different materials mixed in there. But similarly to the 7, the 12, you know, it's cut to a perfect angle, very, very neat and quite stiff and firm to work with. So I probably prefer this one for powders and this one for the pomades, but really you could use either and you'd get a perfect result. Next up, I want to talk about the Beauty Genius. So this is the clear waterproofing brow gel. So it looks like this. So it's just in a, you know, a little silver metallic tube. And then you twist it out like mascara, and it's got a little mascara wand, and then yeah, it's a clear brow setting gel basically. So once you finish with your brows, or you can even use it first, it's you know, it's all up to you really and how you prefer to do it. But I comb this through my brows after I've finished with a powder, and it just really sets them all into place. And because it is a waterproofing gel, it will also turn your powder from being not as long wearing into a really nice long wearing waterproof powder. So just a really simple product. It doesn't smell offensive. It makes my brows quite nice and stiff, which might sound funny, but honestly it is desirable because once your brows are done, you really want them to stay up and, you know, stay all day kind of a thing, and this really will keep them in place. Once again, it's just a nice little product and, you know, easy to pack and travel with as well because it's not huge and bulky. So the brow products also come in little kits. So this is one of the kits that I have here. I can't remember what it's called. And inside this, it's like a little zippable leather case with the rose gold Anastasia symbol on the front. And you just unzip it, and then on the inside you've got a bunch of different brow products. So it includes one of the powders and it includes one of the Beauty Genius waterproof gels. So that's really good, and obviously the kits come, you know, it's not one universal color that you can get in the kit. You can buy, you know, a kit for blondes or a kit for brunettes, like all of that sort of stuff is available. Also in the kit you get that number 7 brush. So like I spoke about before, a fantastic brush. You can use it for the powders, or if you want to take a pomade as well, you certainly could. Also a pair of the Anastasia Beverly Hills tweezers. I've got another set of them here. They've just got a very, very nice fine angled point, and they're quite durable, and well, they're pink. I'm sold if my tweezers are pink. Like if you give me pink tweezers, I'm in love. But yeah, they're just really, really good for plucking any stray hairs or anything like that. And I also use them to apply my lashes. They're a very, very good pair of tweezers to apply false lashes. There you go. So you get a pair of these in here, and you also get 5 of these eyebrow stencils. I'll show you these quickly. So there's 5 different ones, and basically they are a stencil. So depending on what brow shape you want, or you know, your natural brow shape, you can place this over your brow, hold it in place, and then go in with the powder and apply the brow in that shape. They pretty much cater for everybody. They've got a high arch, they've got a medium arch, they've got a slim high arch, they've got a petite arch, which is probably my shape, I would say. I'd say I am the petite arch, yeah. And then lastly, the full arch. So there's certainly going to be a stencil there that will suit you. And depending on your makeup, you can change up which brow style you want anyway, like it doesn't really matter. It's good to experiment, and if you're not really sure what shape suits your face, this is a good way to find out. So this little zip up case is really, really awesome, and also if you want to pop a pomade in there, like it all fits perfectly. Like, you know, the pomade's in there, and this is just really, really great for traveling as well. Definitely a must-have if you're new to the Anastasia brow scene. And then lastly, I want to talk about one of her eyeshadow palettes. Now obviously she does a bunch of different makeup products now. She's got the contouring palette, she's got a number of different eyeshadow palettes. I am lucky enough to have the Anastasia Lavish palette, And it's got like a plastic casing around the outside, and then you pull this little ribbon and the palette comes out inside. Similarly to her other packaging, it's very compact. Like, look how skinny it is, and it's just really basically perfect for traveling, which I think is a big thing for a lot of people. Like, not many people want to buy a big, large, bulky palette because it's difficult to store, it's difficult to travel with, like, it's just not ideal basically. So this palette comes with a range of different shades, and they're all very wearable and natural. It's also got a mixture of finishes from some mattes to satins to a shimmery black down here in the corner. And can I just say, the pigmentation is insane. So I've just swatched pink sapphire and black diamond there on my hand, and there they are swatched on my skin as well. They're just really, really high quality and highly pigmented eyeshadows. I have had a fairly good chance to play around with these now, and I have got a tutorial actually already up using a couple of these. It's my Kylie Jenner collaboration with Guru Beauty. So if you check the description bar below, I will have a link to that video so you can watch these in action. If you want to see more tutorials using this palette, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to do them because I love it and I love working with it, and I think you guys are going to love it too. So the good news for my Aussie girls is Anastasia is now shipping to Australia and is available here in Australia. If you type in Anastasia Beverly Hills on an Australian computer, it will actually take you directly to the Australian site. And you can buy directly off there in Australian prices. So there's no headache with converting between, you know, US dollars and Australian dollars. It's all there automatically for you. And they do ship quite quickly as well. You know, it must have been under a week that I got mine. They are also starting to be available in lots of beauty salons here in Australia as well. I know my local salon, brow and waxing salon, has got Anastasia products available there, and they've also got the pomades. The pomades have only been available to Australians in probably maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks, so it's quite a new product here in Australia, but definitely one to keep your eye on because I can't even begin to describe how much I love this. Like, it has completely replaced all other products in my brow routine. I still love my NYX stuff, but I'm sorry NYX, but Anastasia wins hands down. Obviously, for those of you that are international or in the States, you will buy from the Anastasia.com website. It just depends where you are in the world, but they are readily available. They're also sold at Sephora in the States, so quite easy to get your hands on, and they're also quite well priced. Like, obviously in Australia, things are a lot more expensive, so bear that in mind for my US and international viewers watching. But in Australia, these are retailing for $39. And these kits are retailing for $99, which for Australian prices is actually very, very good. So yeah, very, very good value for actually what you're getting. And considering, I could probably say that this is going to last you years and years and years because you only need the tiniest, tiniest really small amount of it to actually get what you need out of the product. So certainly it is good value for money. So really, to sum it up, I 100% recommend these products to everybody. I think that you will definitely not be disappointed in the quality and how easy they are to use. And obviously the price is affordable, so that is a nice selling point as well. I've been happy with them. I haven't had not one complaint. All of the clients that I've used them on, I've never had any complaints as well. They're beautiful to work with, and the packaging is gorgeous. I mean, black and gold, you just cannot go wrong with black and gold, can you? So I hope you guys found this video useful. Do leave me any other questions that you might have in the description bar below as well. I'm happy to answer any questions, or you can shoot me an email or pop over to my Facebook page and ask me a question on there. Do also make sure to check out my blog. I will have a blog post up with close-up photos of all of the products and more information about where you can buy them from, different websites and stores, and yeah, just more information about the products in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome day. It's pissing down rain outside, so I'm going to be staying inside all day today. I will catch you all in the next video. Bye! All of the focus on these beautiful rainbow eyes rather than the rest of the face. So that completes the makeup look today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. I love, love, love the way this one turned out. I'm a big fan of colour, and if you're going to use a colour, why not use them all together at once? Certainly doesn't bother me. This is something that you could really pair with a little black dress on a night out, and it just really would contrast so well and just look really, really amazing. So for my Aussie girls, if you're wanting to get your hands on this palette, I have got a website linked below where you can get it. And it's nearly for exactly the same price as what it sells in the States, which is